Changing Lanes, the official podcast of BMW. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Changing Lanes, the official podcast of BMW. I'm Jonathan, tech geek, fun fact fan, and speed freak with cars and the internet.
And I'm Sara, travel junkie, carpool karaoke diva, and a major fan of driving with the top down.
Now, Sara, I know it's far down the road, pun intended, but have you thought about what you want to do when you retire?
Retirement. I'm dreaming about it all the time, and most of my dreams have a beautiful island in them and a cute little house at the top of a winding road on some cliffs overlooking the sea.
Sounds glorious. I've been dreaming of, having that car that I've been wanting for years to come and just driving down the same coastline, But for those who have been dreaming of retiring, you might need the time to do the things that you've been yearning to do for years, like, for example, finally cleaning out the basement or spending afternoons channel surfing or taking self-improvement courses.
Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Now, what you're describing really just sounds like boring stuff that you'd be doing on a rainy Sunday afternoon, whether you're retired or not. Now, if I had all the time in the world, I can tell you my dream would be to spend some time under the hood restoring that sweet vintage find or possibly scouting out a road with the tightest hairpin turns.
Or cruising down the highway watching the landscape unfold before you. Yes, of course, that was before something that you would do on a Sunday afternoon, but this is more like it. So if you love to talk torque and daydream about finding an antique car in an old barn, then listen up.
Exactly. We went ahead and created our version of the ultimate bucket list for car enthusiasts. So here are 10 things that every auto aficionado should experience at least once in their lives. So coming in at number 1, we've got the Mille Miglia. In Italian, Mille Miglia means 1,000 miles, and that is how long this classic car rally is.
This historic race that takes place in Italy has provided racing fans with speed thrills for decades. From 1927 to 1957, drivers raced through northern Italy at breakneck speeds. Now, some of the course winds its way through tiny village streets that are unpaved, so the Mille Miglia is not for the faint of heart.
Oh my God. In that case, I will definitely be enjoying my glass of vino in the second or possibly third row of people watching the race. Well, nowadays, actually, the object of the race isn't just to reach the finish line first. It's really all about dividing the course up into equal parts and enjoying the daily drive through traditional villages, and locals stand on the side of the road to cheer everyone on.
Now, the cool thing about the Mille Miglia is that all cars that race in the event must have participated in at least one of the original Mille Miglia races up until 1957. So if you want to invest your retirement funds to participate, you'll need a classic like the BMW 328 Touring Coupe that actually won the event in 1940. Fun fact. But there's always the easier and more affordable option of just joining the huge crowds of locals that cheer the event on.
That definitely sounds more like what I would be up for, just enjoying the dolce vita.
So we give the Mille Miglia 5 stars for driving pleasure and 3 stars for the party atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Now, coming in at number 2 is my French, I need to work on it, the Cité de l'Automobile in France.
That's pretty good, Jonathan. Pretty good.
Not
pretty
bad.
Good.
I need to tilt my beret. So located in the Alsatian town of Mulhouse, France, the museum is home to hundreds of rare antique vehicles from every era of car making. And as it boasts the world's largest collection of Bugattis, a whopping 87.
Oh my God.
This museum is guaranteed to make car fans swoon.
Yeah, the cars on display range from dream cars to four-wheeled nightmares, icons of automobile manufacturing, right down to cabriolets and regular everyday cars. Car buffs will no doubt need more than one day to take it all in, so plan to spend a good weekend here to take everything in.
And for fun factoid fans like me to gather up enough factoids to impress your car buddies with. I mean,
Absolutely.
You can go back home and be like, I learned all this cool stuff.
Yeah, so we give the Cité de l'Automobile a 5-star rating for the learning experience. Now, coming in at number 3 is the Pan American Highway. Now, this is the mother of all road trips. 15,500 miles from North to South America, all the way from Alaska to Argentina.
Whoa, so this sounds like a road trip XXL, and you may want to take a sabbatical to really do this route justice. So you gotta invest the time
And money.
to experience this unique experience.
Yeah, from the Arctic cold of Alaska to the tropical heat of Guatemala, moonscapes in Bolivia, and all the way down to the Antarctic chill of the Tierra del Fuego in Argentina. Now, this definitely goes on my personal bucket list.
Mine too, and definitely will need to keep my GPS on the entire time. One wrong turn while I'm enjoying the scenery, and this road trip can go from 15,500 miles to 155,000 miles in a second.
Oh dear, yeah, that would be a bit too much. In any case, we give the Pan Americana Highway 5 stars in driving, pleasure, and learning experience, with an extra 3 stars to the amazing party atmosphere you will definitely have along the way.
Woohoo! So moving on to number 4, the Goodwood Festival of Speed. So Sarah, can I be honest with you?
Of course, always.
All right, so a big part of the thrill of driving a car, is just seeing how fast you can go, right?
Well, yes, as long as you're respecting the speed limits.
Exactly.
Of course.
So if you feel the need for speed, then this festival is just for you.
Yes, it's held every summer on the vast parkland of Goodwood House in West Sussex in the southeastern part of England. And while car fans leisurely sip tea on the lawn, that'll be me, by the way.
And with race car legends streaking by mere meters away on the historic motor circuit, that will be me in the front row cheering them on.
Cars from every era drive on a short but challenging track up the hill on the grounds of Lord March. It's a very glamorous celebration of car love and an adventure for everybody. VIPs, racing fans, autograph seekers, and so many others. So it's definitely worth a visit for a petrolhead.
This sounds like a party you do not want to miss. That's why we gave the Goodwood Festival of Speed 5 stars for its impressive party atmosphere.
Okay, and next up, we're taking you to the holy halls for car enthusiasts. At number 5 is the BMW plant in the city of Leipzig in Germany, which is the birthplace of the car of the future. So, Jonathan, let's switch gears from petrol head to electric heads, shall we? So even people who are passionate about cars are aware of the environmental impact of petrol. So what about electric cars? How does designing an electric car differ from designing one with a combustion engine?
Now this is where the BMW i3 and other vehicles are made. From the delivery of chassis parts and the paint shop facility to the CFK panel presses and the final assembly, you can experience firsthand how the employees harness their passion and focus their attention to detail to build an electric car with a soul.
Oh, you sound really excited about this, Jonathan.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I just remember being in the BMW plant in Leipzig and seeing all the robots.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, that was so cool. They were doing like this choreographed sequence of a dance, and just watching them work was magic.
Did they dance to music, or it was just
Now that
without
would
any
be
music?
epic.
Well, it should be mentioned that if you want to see how a petrol car is made, you can also do that as well at the BMW plant in Leipzig.
Wonderful. So we give the BMW plant 5 awesome stars for learning experience. From idea to innovation, this is the place to see how the cars of the future are built.
Absolutely.
Moving
Okay.
on to
Where do we go next?
Well, then we move on from Germany over to France. Number 6, the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Oh my gosh, this is one of my personal favorites and one of the greatest car races of all time. Jonathan, did you know that the race is part of the Triple Crown of Motorsports?
Oh, is it?
Yes. It's an unofficial motorsport achievement for drivers that win Le Mans, the Monaco Grand Prix, and the Indy 500. Now, that shows the importance of the 24 hours pretty well. And The 24 hours are not just a car race, it's more like a festival. Fans gather from Wednesday to Sunday to watch the event.
Awesome. Now, I've heard that you should definitely join the people sitting on camping stools, eating sausages from the barbecue. That's how you really get that community feel and the real mood for the race. But, I don't know, 24 hours of racing? That sounds exhausting, even just for a fan on the sands.
Yeah, I mean, exhausting, but gosh, you're so high on the excitement. It's really, really fun. And after Speed Week, I bet you'll be able to recognize the roar of a race car in the dark just by its engine note.
So we give the Le Mans 5 stars for its non-stop party atmosphere.
Woohoo! Okay, moving on to number 7, the Stelvio Pass. So we go back to Italy for the Dolce Vita. And now the best time to go is early in the morning. As the sun comes up, it bathes the road through the pass in a magical light. But if you like to sleep in, and if you wait until later in the day, you'll have to share the switchbacks with bicyclists and motorcyclists.
Oh, geez. So it's a fantastic driving road in southern Tyrol. The eastern ascent from, get ready for it, Vinchgau, that's the name of the town, Vinchgau, covers 48 curves spanning altitudes from 915 meters to 2,757 meters at the top. Now, as you carve the turns, the sides of the mountain reverberate with the sound of the tailpipe. And in the tightest curves, you can hear the tires gripping the road.
Yeah, you continue to climb and turn in the early morning light. And then suddenly the Ortler Alps open up before you in a majestic panorama when you reach the village of Prad at an elevation of 915 meters above sea level. And once you reach the top of the pass at 2,757 meters, you can treat yourself to a cappuccino and take in the view. Then hit the road again to tackle the western side down into Lombardy.
Sounds like the Stelvio Pass is right up your alley,
It
Sarah.
sure is.
We give the Stelvio Pass 5 stars for driving pleasure. Now, I wonder what driving pleasure translates to in Italian.
Oh gosh, beats me. Italian's one language that I don't speak. Oh dear.
So speaking of multicultiness in this top 10 list, we've got Frankfurt, we've got Geneva, we've got Tokyo, and we've got Essen. Number 8 is the Essen Motor Show.
Right. This city in the German Ruhr Valley is a fixed part of the car show calendar. The Essen Motor Show is wilder, motlier, and just plain crazier than its sister shows in the big city. On every patch of available ground, you can find a V8, shiny chrome, and blinking LEDs.
Burnouts, drifts, crazy car modifications, parties. It is a crazy experience.
It really is. And with the party atmosphere aside, it's also a great place to swap tips about restoring and tuning your own car. So, win-win.
There you go. So the Essen Motor Show gets 5 stars from us for an incredible party.
Moving on to number 9, your new addiction, car restoration. The ultimate goal for lots of car enthusiasts, restoring your own car.
There's nothing like grease in your hair and calluses on your hands when bringing an old car back to life. And hearing the sound of the engine for the first time, knowing that it was all worth it, that's what it's all about.
And if you're looking for a project car, how about an E30 or the classic Isetta? It's a challenge, but it's well worth it, and it won't overwhelm the average amateur mechanic.
Nice.
All you need to make this dream a reality is a garage, the right tools, of course, and a bubble car that needs some TLC.
But be careful, folks. This can get addictive. The listeners with 3 or more project cars waiting in the driveway know exactly what we're talking about. I mean, first you're out there working just a couple of hours a day, but then pretty soon your better half has to drag you out of the garage at all hours of the night and make sure you're actually going to your day job.
Well, that feeling of finally taking that first ride in your masterpiece, gosh, it's all worth it in the end.
So restoring an oldie but a goodie is a 5-star learning experience. So grab that toolbox and get to work.
Yes, sir.
Now, while a cold beer might be the beverage of choice in your garage, restoring something beautiful, we're now switching it up to champagne. Number 10, and please, oh my goodness, here we go. Concorso de Eleganza Villa d'Est.
Yeah, I'll try that too. The Concorso de Eleganza Villa d'Est is the place for the world's most prized collector cars, lovingly restored, immaculate condition, the best of the best. Here is where the upper crust of the automobile scene meets for its rendezvous. Cleaned of every speck of dust and perfect in condition and appearance, automotive jewels fight for prizes in beauty contests.
Man, I just feel so fancy just talking about it. So car collectors as well as manufacturers never miss this opportunity to show off their one-of-a-kind classic cars and new concept cars on the shores of Lake Como in Italy.
Yeah, one-off coach-built cars, concept cars, future visions, legendary race winners. It's all there. It's a real dream car show.
So we give the Concorso de Eleganza 3 stars for party atmosphere, 3 stars for learning experience, and 5 stars for pure luxury experience. Oh, that was such a terrible British accent.
Oh, no. Well, there you have it. That is our bucket list for petrolheads. 10 highly subjective ideas of what true car lovers should do at least once in their lives.
Yes, and of course, everybody has their own bucket list, but maybe you took some inspiration from our collection. I know I, for one, am thinking about planning my next trip to Essen for the Essen Motor Show. It sounds like an epic party.
Yeah, and I'm checking my calendar for the next Mille Miglia. That glass of vino sounds very tempting.
So thanks, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of Changing Lanes.
And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast for future episodes.
And to dive deeper into all things BMW, head on over to bmw.com to learn more. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Sara.
And this has been Changing Lanes.
Hope to see you next time.